Have you ever looked around and realized that influence is just manipulation wearing makeup? That most people aren't thinking, they're just recycling. Opinions, trends, identities, all downloaded from the feed, repackaged and reposted for approval. And yet, there are some men who never hit share, never dance to the beat, never echo what they don't believe, because they don't just question the narrative, they never bought the script to begin with. We're told we're living in the best time in history. We've got access to everything, food on demand, endless entertainment, opinions by the second. But no one ever asks, why does it still feel so empty? Walk into a store and look at the cereal aisle. 50 different boxes, 50 flavors, and you argue to choose something among them. But none of them were your idea. You didn't grow the grains. You didn't design the choices. You just picked from a menu someone else already wrote. And that's the lie modern society feeds you, the illusion of freedom through manufactured options. This is where the Sigma male steps out. Not with noise, but with silence so sharp it cuts through the screen. The Sigma doesn't just reject influence, he deletes the source code. He doesn't live outside the box. He burns the box, questions the box factory, and then walks alone toward a place where there is no audience. Let's break down 10 savage truths behind why Sigma males don't just resist influence, they erase it. 1. He doesn't rebel. He vanishes. Most men try to resist influence by rebelling. Loud statements, bold outfits, performative outrage. But rebellion is still a response. It's still tethered to the system it hates. The Sigma male doesn't respond. He disconnects. You want to be an artist? Okay, good. But do you really want to become an artist if it doesn't monetize? The rebellion most people admire is just a louder form of dependence. People rebelling in front of the crowd still crave an audience. The Sigma male doesn't care if you're watching. He's not walking out for dramatic effect. He's gone because he doesn't negotiate with noise. And that's what most of the world is, noise wrapped in ego. He knows the system rewards the illusion of choice and punishes actual sovereignty. So he opts out entirely. No trace, no tweets, no closure. Just an offline presence that begins rebuilding in the shadows. And by the time they notice he's gone, he's already rewritten the rules somewhere their signal can't reach. Because true rejection of influence isn't protest, it's invisibility with purpose. 2. He doesn't absorb, he deletes. Scroll culture breeds weak minds. The average man absorbs content 24/7, news, drama, opinions, validation. The Sigma doesn't absorb. He curates, cuts, and deletes. If something doesn't feed his discipline, he cuts it. If a person drains energy, he blocks them. If a platform hijacks his focus, he logs off. Not because he's better, but because he refuses to let noise become nutrition. He doesn't just avoid influence. He formats his mental hard drive daily. The fewer inputs, the sharper his output. The less he consumes, the more dangerous he becomes. 3. He's not guided by reactions, he's rooted in values. Most men drift with the current of outrage, trends, and opinion polls. Their beliefs are fragile, just loud enough to fit in, but hollow when tested. The Sigma male's beliefs aren't responses, they're roots. Built in silence, refined in pain, immune to applause. He doesn't care what's popular, he cares what's permanent. So when the world flips opinions overnight, he stays still. Not because he's stubborn, because he did the work. He doesn't parrot ideas, he builds them from scratch. He remembers what it's like to stand alone in a room where everyone disagrees. And he's okay with that. He learned early on that being right isn't about being loud, it's about being solid. So he holds firm when others fold. Not out of ego, but out of principle. You can't shake him with trends. You can't shame him with groupthink. Because his compass isn't social, it's internal. And every decision, every move, is filtered through one question. Does this align with who I am? And that's why his voice doesn't just cut through the noise, it shatters it. 4. He doesn't echo, he invents. When you strip away the memes, the hashtags, the aesthetics, what's left? For most, not much. They've been trained to repeat, to repost, to represent ideas that were never theirs. The Sigma male doesn't echo, he invents. While others parrot podcasts and regurgitate influencer quotes, he goes inward. That's where the real work happens. Not on your timeline, in your silence. He's not scared of originality, he's obsessed with it. He'll go years building a thought that no one else touches, because he doesn't need agreement to validate truth. He just needs clarity. That's why his ideas hit harder. They weren't created to please, they were created to pierce. 5. His feed is empty. His mind is full. You can tell a man's depth by what fills his day. Most men start with scrolling, and with distractions, and stuff their middle with noise. The Sigma male does the opposite. His feed is quiet. No rants, no opinions on every controversy, no fake engagement. Because he isn't trying to be part of the conversation, he's trying to stay clear of it. What fills his time? Study, strategy, stillness. He reads books, not comments. He revisits hard truths, not trending sounds. While others overdose on information, he refines his own inner signal. The Sigma isn't offline because he's a hermit. He's offline because the real world is where real domination begins. 6. He doesn't imitate power. He builds it. Influence loves cosplay. Everyone wants to look powerful, dress the part, speak with conviction, copy the tone of leaders. But power isn't something you perform, it's something you construct. The Sigma male isn't interested in performing like a leader. He's building something that doesn't require applause to operate. Whether it's wealth, fitness, intellectual sharpness, or total emotional detachment, he builds the infrastructure of real independence. Power for him isn't a costume, it's a code, and he writes it in silence. 7. He doesn't bond for comfort, he connects for growth. While most people build relationships to avoid loneliness, Sigma males approach connection like strategy. He's not in it for comfort, he's in it for construction. If the bond doesn't sharpen his focus or elevate his discipline, it's cut off at the root. He doesn't collect people, he aligns with purpose. While others mistake proximity for loyalty, the Sigma knows that shared struggle means more than shared history. He watches how people handle discomfort, how they handle silence, how they handle themselves. He doesn't need cheerleaders. He needs builders. And if you're not building alongside him, you're just background noise. 8. Trends die fast. He builds what outlasts them. Trends are easy. They give you a blueprint and applause. But they vanish just as quickly as they arrive. The Sigma male doesn't chase them. He studies what outlives them. He doesn't care if something's hot right now. He asks, will it still matter when the hype is gone? Will it still stand after the market collapses, after the attention fades, after the cameras stop recording? While others are optimizing content for algorithms, he's optimizing impact for decades. He plays long games in a world obsessed with daily dopamine. And because of that, when the dust settles, the Sigma isn't just still standing, he's owning what others abandon. 9. He's not made for the spotlight. He's built for the aftermath. Some men shine under lights. Sigma males build where light can't reach. He doesn't train for applause. He trains for the aftershock, the moment after systems fail, when real power reveals itself. He's not the face of the movement. He's the skeleton underneath it. You won't see him coming, but you'll feel what he left behind: precision, legacy, and systems that function without his presence. That's the level of influence that doesn't echo. It reshapes. 10. He doesn't adapt to culture. He evolves past it. Culture moves in loops: hype, fear, distraction. Most men orbit that loop forever, but the Sigma male steps out of orbit completely. He doesn't adapt. He evolves. He watches the machine, studies its weaknesses, and then builds tools the culture doesn't understand and can't predict. While the masses upgrade to fit in, he upgrades to step out. His path doesn't have applause. It doesn't trend, but it also doesn't break. Because when you evolve outside of culture, you don't just survive, you become untraceable. On a final note, the world runs on influence. It wants you in a loop, scrolling, liking, arguing, conforming. The moment you step out of that loop, you don't just confuse it, you threaten it. Sigma males live beyond reach. They don't just avoid the noise. They kill the frequency. They don't echo thoughts. They rewrite them. They don't react to trends. They become the anomaly so rare the system can't categorize them. And that's what makes them untouchable. Because influence can only reach what's available. And the Sigma? He's never available. He's working, building, sharpening, in silence. The world sees that as mysterious. But it's not mystery. It's freedom, true freedom.